If Jax is only able to do ever so little things, like pushing people, grabbing people, why is Kane given unlimited power? Although what we do know is that there is no physical consequence, but there is, should we say, a psychological consequence to staying in this world. He's impatient, he's rude, he's arrogant. He doesn't exactly worry about the mortal threat of other characters. Jax is that kind of person that you're playing a video game with that tries to screw you over at every single turn. I wouldn't expect more from a man who smiles all the time. Seriously, close your mouth, you'll catch flies. But speaking on the matter of how this is a digital video game world, Jax's actions are 100% in tune with the typical player. No, I don't mean like maybe.
Get driving, driver!
There's a disregard for consequences, but when the typical player plays a video game, they're expecting for the video game itself to clean up every other mess that they make. I mean, in real life, they would never do that, but since it's a video game with no consequences, they'd be gladly to rip your head off. We, as the fans, see the beginning, middle, and end of his transgressions. But strangely enough, in all honesty, the character that I think about the most is the Ringmaster.
Digital plane.
I swear I saw
Digital hallucinations!
There's just oddly a lot that I feel like he knows that we don't. He's also considered a god in the minds of the NPCs that he creates.
You must be the brave knight sent to us by God to help us with our recent catastrophe.
But that makes us question, if Jax is only able to do ever so little things, like pushing people, grabbing people, why is Kane given unlimited power in this world? We're assuming that he has the utmost freedom, and he can do whatever he wants to the characters. I mean, he's also able to heal them back up if they ever get hurt. Last thing to mention about his relationship to the other characters is Zubul. He caters to this character a whole lot. It makes me feel like Zubul's some kind of daughter figure to him. She has a very laid-back personality. In fact, it's even more laid-back than Jax.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I assure you, there is no magical exit door. You're probably just experiencing digital hallucinations!
But thinking about it, does he not tire of this world? In fact, if ever he is not on screen, he's usually just chilling with his bubble. So this shows us that he can't leave this world. There is the greater possibility that as the creator of this world and possibly the creator of this game, he's stuck in the game as much as they are, but since he has full range of control, he's constantly trying to innovate, keep everybody's minds occupied as he builds an escape way.
I do have to apologize for lying about the exit. I knew how much all of you have been wanting there to be one, but, you know, I was having so much trouble figuring out what to put on the other side and ended up never quite finishing it.
Now, he calls it a little project that he was working on, but there's nothing that really clarifies if this was meant to be an escape route or if this was just simply part of one of the maps that he's created, and it has no real function beyond its own programming. But there possibly is another idea that he's just possibly going insane and creating a lot of exit doors is how he passes the time. But he limits himself in certain ways. For example, he never really threatens the other characters with any sort of violence. He knows there's no consequence to what he might do to them, right? Although what we do know is that there is no physical consequence, but there is, should we say, a psychological consequence to staying in this world and being in this world for far too long. Klaus, the clown that I mentioned earlier, he was the first one to be abstracted. Wait, actually, never mind, rewind. There is a bunch of other characters that were also abstracted, but we have no idea who they are.
Man, I can't believe Kaufmo just gave up like that.
In all honesty, I'm pretty sure that Jax makes it his absolute mission to make sure that he doesn't become extracted. Simply by taking the piss out of life inside of this game.
Oh god, is that the horn? That sucks. Gangle, you drive.
He's the most dominant and well put together character. There may be signs of a tortured soul underneath, but I'm not buying that. From my perspective, Jax is simply just trying to keep his mind extremely healthy. But in doing that, he actually has become one of the most hated characters in the show. People hate him because his actions are actually malicious.
Move it!
This is a sort of aggression that is needed to overcome any kind of psychological terror that you might go through. In a video game world, it is totally okay to be as violent as possible. Heck, you can even hit one of the NPCs. But then, strangely enough, when you've had your fun, it kinda gets a little boring. A world without consequence is not really a real world in general. But the other characters are supposedly real people, so it makes it all the more fun to mess with them. There is no point to holding your morality at a high level, especially when it concerns the digital circus.
Whose hand is that?